How are you guys doing today? My name is Apple, and today we are going to be talking about stocks. And oh boy, isn't that a topic that just gets everybody excited? But in all honesty, in order to become more financially confident, it is crucial to build a solid foundation, which I believe includes a solid understanding of stocks. A topic that may not seem like the most interesting in the world, but once you understand how they work and how to take advantage of them, you're going to have a huge leg up in building wealth. To start off, I'm going to give you some common misconceptions about what a stock is and how stocks work. Alright, so in reality, a stock is simply a portion of a company. By owning stock in a company, you yourself own a small piece of that company. Myth number one is that a stock is an abstract idea. It's just a ticker symbol and has no tangible significance. Myth number two is that companies make money when their stock prices go up. And myth number three is that all companies have stocks. Alright, so as a stock owner, you own a piece of that company. It doesn't matter if your piece is 1,000th%, you are still a part owner. In order to calculate how much of a company you own, simply divide your total equity or the combined value of all of the stocks that you hold in that company by the company's market cap, or the total combined value of all of that company's stocks. And this number can just be found online. Alright, now here comes some math. So, for example, say I had 5 shares of Tesla stock and I wanted to calculate what percent owner of Tesla I was. So first off, we're going to take Tesla's share price, which as of today is around $306. Then we're going to multiply that by 5 to get my total equity in Tesla. And then we're going to divide that by Tesla's market cap, which is about $51 billion. And then we're going to find that I own 1/33 millionth of Tesla. Now it's tempting to go out and brag to your friends about how you own a ridiculously small part of a huge company. But there are benefits to being part owner of a company as well. First of all, you are entitled to a portion of the earnings that this company generates. The management of the company will decide how these earnings will be distributed, but usually it's through the payment of dividends. Now, dividends are periodic payments that usually occur quarterly, but could be yearly or monthly, depending on the company. And they are paid from the company to the shareholders just for being part owners of the stock. Now, these dividends are usually paid by companies that are well established, that are making consistent earnings, because they want to encourage shareholders to stick around and to continue to invest in their company. Now, another benefit of owning stock in a company is that you may be entitled to voting rights in company decisions. Now, some companies issue voting class shares, which are stocks that grant you 1 vote per each share of the company that you own in all company decisions. And these are companies such as Facebook. Some, such as Snapchat, issue non-voting class shares. So for each stock you own, you don't get to vote in decisions, and they just reserve that to their board of directors and upper management. And in some cases, such as Google, they actually offer both. So you could purchase either a voting class share or a non-voting class share. Now, it's important to be aware of your voting power as a shareholder, because you're able to influence the future of this company and potentially big decisions that this company will make in the future. Alright, so the next myth is that companies profit when their stock prices increase. And in reality, stock prices are only determined by perceived value. So as they're traded from person to person, the only reason that the prices fluctuate is because one person thinks that the part of that company is worth either more or less than the other person does. So for example, say person A buys a share of company X for $5. But now a year has passed and person B wants to buy a share of company X and they think it's worth $10. So when A sells their share of X to B, A has just profited $5 because they bought it for 5 and sold it for 10. And so as you can see, no money was exchanged with the company or anybody else. It was just between A and B. So A made a profit and B now holds this asset that they think is more valuable than it was a year ago. Now, the only time that a company actually gains money from their stock is during an IPO, which I'll get to very soon. Myth number 3 is that all companies offer stocks. Now, in general, a company can either be public or private. A public company offers investors to purchase stocks of their company, while private companies do not. A company may choose to be public or private for a variety of reasons, but that's really a topic for another video. Now, companies will go from private to public to generate income, and this is done through an IPO. Now, an IPO, or initial public offering, consists of a private company splitting ownership of their company into many pieces known as stocks, and allowing the public to purchase a portion of these stocks over a stock exchange, such as the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. Now, this can happen for a variety of reasons, such as an upcoming project or just future expansions in general. Now, it's still possible to invest in a private company, but this is more complicated and usually involves sending an offer directly to the company instead of just purchasing some shares of their company off of a stock exchange. Now, the big question of why. Why bother investing in stocks and learning about stocks in the first place? Well, in general, stocks tend to appreciate in value over time. There are trends such as bear and bull markets where this won't be the case, and I'll cover those in future videos. But for the most part, stock prices rise. Over the last 100 years, stock prices have risen on average 8 to 10%, which is significantly better than many other asset classes and commodities. This also means that stocks on average stay ahead of inflation. Additionally, many people rely on dividend payments to cover their expenses because they are a consistent and reliable source of income that requires no work whatsoever. However, one of the reasons that stocks do have a higher appreciation rate is because there is higher risk associated with this asset class. In general, the higher amount of risk you are exposed to, the greater the potential reward. Going from that, stocks are not the safest investment class, and because of that, they are not for everyone. However, if you are young and you have more time to let your investments grow and higher risk tolerance, investing in stocks might be an effective way for you to develop multiple streams of income and build your wealth over time. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. If you guys learned something new from this video, definitely subscribe to the channel, leave a like and comment below with what you'd like to see in the future for me, or any questions you have about the topics that were covered here. And until next time.